So I need to ask you a question. You know, as far as your putter goes, tell me how you got your putter.
Well, it'd been one too many poor rounds on the greens, and I thought, it's the putter.
Yeah,
so I bought a new one.
Right? Of course, yeah. That's the story. How many people do that, right? And so how did you pick that putter?
You know, I'd seen Jason Day use it, liked the look of it, thought he was draining everything.
Well, you didn't think it. He was, or he is, right? One of the great putters on tour, and he does that, right? That putter works for him, and that's how a lot of people buy putters. So how did you actually choose, like, do you know the length of your putter?
No, I don't.
You don't know the length, and that's very common. Like, I have people, and they come to my school, and I'm like, what's the length of your putter? And like, I don't know. The reason why I take the time to fit one of my students to the length of the putter is because it's really important to their setup. If a person has a putter that's too long for them, they're simply going to set up too tall or have their arms too jammed up or stand too far from it. If the putter is too short for a player, they're going to have to bend over, be too close to it, or have their arms straight. When a putter's just right for a player, they can set their elbows properly into the rib cage, tilt, allowing their eyes to come to rest over the golf ball and their hands underneath their shoulders. Now they're in a setup where really they can learn to make a good stroke. To buy a putter off the shelf that doesn't fit you in length really will mess up your posture, which will screw up your stroke. That's just the bottom line. I am about to customize a putter for one of my students, and I'm going to share with you the process and why it's important with each of the things that I do and how it will really affect the way you would putt if you had a putter that was customized for you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the length of the putter. So I measure the putter, and I always go from the sight line of the putter, and I mark the shaft and what I want the length of the putter to actually be. When I put the grip on, it will be just a little longer than that mark because of the grip cap. So I've got a little saw here, and I just line it up, get it just right. The reason I do that is because I sand the edge so the grip can really slide on nice and easily. So I put it in my little vise, put two-way tape on it. This student chose a mid-sized grip, so I've already got it ready. So I'm going to take this, put a little solvent. I use a soap-based solvent. I soak the grip really good on the inside. Plenty of solvent in there. Then I pour it on the shaft. Then I make sure that all the tape is nice and wet. Yep. I'm about to alter the lie angle just a little bit for this player. I fit him into a little flatter lie angle, and that's important. I'll explain why in a second, but let me show you this process. It's pretty simple. This is a Mitchell machine. I'll put the putter in here, make sure it's lined up properly. Clamp that down and secure the putter head. This is a double bend shaft. So I just can bend it right at the bend of the shaft. I just put a little bit of pressure on it, tug it a little bit. Scotty Cameron putters are 70 degrees when they start out. So I'm just gonna set this putter to 69, barely changing it, but it's important so that the putter sits flush on the ground. There we go, I've got that right at 69 degrees, so that's perfect. So I'm all set there. Now the reason why this is important is because if the putter doesn't sit flush on the ground, it is hard to line it up. Because if the putter's sitting on the ground with a toe up in the air, well, it tends to look like it's going to point left. If the heel's up in the air, it looks like it's going to point right. So it's important to have the lie angle just right, so when the player puts it on the ground, it's flush when they're in the proper setup position. We don't want that toe up and we don't want the heel up. So lie angle is an important part of customizing your putter. One of the reasons I really like Scotty Cameron putters is because it's so easy to change the weights. He's really smart, and he gives you a body of a putter, but then you can change the weights. And I also like how these are positioned because they're on the toe and the heel. Let me give you a little quick engineering thing. Moment of inertia, MOI. What is that? You know, if you had a barbell and you took the weights of a barbell on the outside, put them on the inside, you could twist the ends faster. So when I spread those weights further from the center, you stabilize the center. So when you say high MOI, it's just resistance to twisting is all that means. So I really like that he's positioned the weights, toe and the heel. So if you think about it very simply, you know, if I hit the ball a little off center, I have a little more weight on both sides of the golf ball helping the club to stabilize so it doesn't twist too much on an off-center hit. So it's pretty cool. On top of that, you can change the weights. I can go heavier or lighter. I'll explain why I'm about to do that. So, you know, I just put the wrench on here and take these out. It's pretty simple. Here we go. I'm putting some, actually these are copper tungsten weights, so they're heavier. They're 25 grams for this player. There we are. So now we're all set. Now we've got a putter that's proper in length, proper in lie angle, and proper in swing weight, gram weight. And again, that gram weight is really important because it's your feel. If you can't feel that putter head as it swings back and forth, and keep that in mind, because if you just take a putter and you cut it down and you have not changed the weights, or they're not able to be changed because of the putter brand that you have, you're not going to have the best thing for you. So you got to have the right weight if you're going to have the right cadence in your stroke so that you can control your distance on the green. Really important to get the right gram weight putter for the length that you have.